What is up, everybody? It is Mars Sports with Marshall. Today, we've got college football picks for week 4. It's just a very exciting time of the year. All the football's here, and it's just glorious, man. I'll tell you that for a fact. Anyways, but we got a lot of games this week. Tons of games. I tried to see if I could do this video a little bit differently today, but my computer has way too many passwords I don't know. So I'm going to have to figure it out. There's that. But yeah, I was going to do this like with my face and all, but it's not working for some reason because like apparently I need a password to get everything. So yeah. Anyways, let's freaking do this. So for the teams that are on bye this week, we have Alabama, App State, Arizona, Boston College, Cincinnati, FAU, Georgia, Houston, Iowa State, Kansas State, Kentucky, Minnesota, Navy, New Mexico State, Northwestern, Ohio State, Old Dominion, Penn State, Pittsburgh, Texas A&M, UCLA, who just fired their coach, by the way, UMass, and Wake Forest. So tons of teams on bye this week. Nonetheless, we still got a lot of games to predict this week, so let's do this. Starting off, we have Rice versus Charlotte. Rice, I mean, they look good. They looked solid in their game against Prairie View A&M yesterday, but I recorded this on a Sunday. They're taking on a Charlotte team who barely beat Monmouth. But Monmouth does good against FBS opponents. Like, they beat FIU last year, so there's something there. But Charlotte looking like kind of a rough team this year. I mean, I know it's Tim Allen's first year there, but still. Yeah, but there's that. But it is I think this could be an interesting game. I believe this is the first game. I believe this is both of their first in-conference games of the year because they're both in the American. Yeah, it's no longer the AAC, it's just the AC. But I should take Rice to win this game. Wow, 49% go them as well. Charlotte could definitely win it too, but I think Rice just looks like a better team at this point. Which is weird saying because Rice usually sucks, but yeah. Now I got Tulsa and Oklahoma State. Tulsa took a loss against Navy yesterday. And they also lost to New Mexico State. So ever since they're winning against Abilene Christian, they've kind of socked off a little bit. Why do I always get snot in my mouth whenever I do these videos, bro? I can't. It's crazy. But Tulsa, I mean, they're usually not that good. But, I mean, we'll see they're going against an Oklahoma State team who's had a bye. But terrible team. Like, 69, nice. The 3 blowout loss to Oregon. Oh my God. But they beat you like an FCS team. I mean, that is not good. That concerns me for Oklahoma State. So honestly, I don't know who's going to win this game. I mean, I'll still go Oklahoma State. 82% go them as well, but Oklahoma State is not good at all. They're going to finish last in the Big 12 again this year, probably. Either them or Kansas State at this point. Then we got Iowa versus Rutgers. This is Friday night game. Iowa, I mean, they've scored more than 20 points. In fact, they scored 47 on UMass, so credit to them there. As they were taking on a Rutgers. Yeah, Iowa, I mean, they look like a good team. I mean, that's Iowa, to be fair. They lost to Iowa State. I mean, if they played a close game, I think Iowa State could definitely win the Big 12 this year. And they're taking on a Rutgers team who's actually undefeated right now. But, I mean, they haven't really played any like amazing teams. Like Ohio's a good team, even though they got blown up by Ohio State. It's Ohio State, to be fair. And they beat up Miami of Ohio and Norfolk. So they've played MAC teams for the most part. Although they actually beat Michael Vick's team, so that's something. But I'm actually going to go Iowa to win this game. 57% go them as well. We'll see, though. You want to say hi, Ayush? Say hi. Bro, he's flexing his tongue. Florida versus Miami. Florida, man, what a rough stretch for them. Losing to South Florida and losing to LSU yesterday. But I mean, they're playing a Miami team who beat up South Florida, ironically. So yeah, but Florida, I mean, Lagway looked really bad. Those stats are way inaccurate, but Lagway threw 5 interceptions in the game yesterday. I mean, that one, LSU's defense is amazing. 2, Lagway not very good. That game still doesn't have a time yet. Um, so yeah, but the second on Miami team looks really good. I mean, they beat up South Florida. They've looked really good in every game they played this year. So you know what? I'm gonna go Miami to win this game. 65% go with them as well. I mean, hey man, Florida can win it too. Don't get me wrong, but still, I think Florida make it a close game. Now I got South Carolina versus Missouri. Missouri number 2. No, Missouri's not number 2, bro. I think it's how it's cut off. But South Carolina, I mean, they looked awful in their game yesterday. The Norris Sellers getting injured is going to really hurt them. But they got beat up by Vanderbilt of all teams. But we'll see how long the Norris is going to be out for. They're taking on Missouri, who's actually looked good. I mean, they beat up Louisiana yesterday. So, I mean, lots of stuff going well for them. But, yeah. But South Carolina, but yeah, but I mean, Missouri, they beat Kansas and all that a few weeks ago. But, yeah, but who I think's going to win this game? You know what? I don't know. This is tough. I'll go Missouri. 69% go them as well. Nice. 69% go them as well. It's just South Carolina looked so bad yesterday. I don't trust them. They have Syracuse versus Clemson. Syracuse, man, what a weird team. They lose to Tennessee. They almost lose to UConn, who lost to Delaware yesterday, by the way, who just joined the FBS. And then they beat up Colgate. That defense definitely kind of suspicious, but I mean, it's Syracuse. They are taking on a Clemson team whose offenses looked not great. I mean, their Clemson was way overhyped. I mean, losing to LSU at home, playing poorly against Troy, then they lost at Georgia Tech on a game-winning field goal. Bro, what's his name? Georgia Tech's kicker out 8 and something. Bro, give this man a raise, bro. I mean, he's won so many games. Like he won the Florida State game last year. Yeah. Anyways, I do think Clemson's the better team. We'll go to Clemson. 6-7% going as well. Oh my god. It's your favorite number, Yush.
Exactly.
Yeah. Let's see. Why am I doing this? Okay. Now we got South Carolina State versus South Florida. South Carolina State, I mean, they beat Bethune-Cookman in a very high-scoring match yesterday. So, so good stuff for them. They're taking on a South Florida team whose momentum low-key kind of got crushed by Miami. But I think South Florida's still a good team. I just think Miami knew what was coming. So, yeah, but I do think South Florida's going to win. 89% go them as well. Now we have Texas Tech and Utah. This could be a future Big 12 championship. I'm just saying. Texas Tech, man, I mean, they're 3-0. They beat up Oregon State yesterday, and they've scored a lot of points in their games this year so far. Taking on a Utah team who looked very shaky to start the game against. Hey, Darshall. Yeah, I'm recording, so yeah. Looked very shaky against Wyoming in the first half. I think I could go in after that. But I tell you what, that Utah team looks really good, and I think a lot of stuff's gonna be really good. I think both these teams are ranked. This is what's gonna be really determine who's the best team in the Big 12 at this point. But honestly, it's a home game for Utah, so I'm gonna pick Utah to win this. 52% go them as well. That's gonna be a great game though. That's probably where Big Noon Saturday is gonna go. They have Wofford versus Virginia Tech. Two teams looking for a win.
Okay.
Bro, you lied to me, bro. You're still at the house? What the heck? Sorry, my boys are trolling me, bro. Wofford, I mean, they've lost so many games in a row. I mean, a lot of them have been really close. A lot of them are really close, but still not great. They're taking on Virginia Tech, who got crushed by Old Dominion of all teams. Like, yikes! Like I get those two SEC teams you start off with, but like Old Dominion, losing to Old Dominion like that, like come on, bro. What are you even doing at this point? I do think Virginia Tech is a better team than Wofford, though. 84% go with them as well. All right, Maryland versus Wisconsin. Maryland's 3-0 right now. They're undefeated. Now, how long is that going to last? I have no clue. They've beat FAU, NIU, and Towson. They're taking on a Wisconsin team who got beat up by Alabama yesterday. I mean, Wisconsin is not good, so yeah, they are hosting this game. This is when the games get tougher and tougher to pick because it's actually in conference games are a lot more even compared to like all the cupcake games everyone starts off in the year with. Yeah, who thinks to win this game? This is actually tough. Wisconsin can win it. So can Maryland. Maryland hasn't played a real team. Hasn't played anyone great yet, though, to be fair. I I'll take Maryland. 36% go with them as well. That's a tough one to pick, though. Those are both like kind of. Can you turn that off, bro? It sounds like background noise. What the frick? I'm muting y'all, bro. Anyways, so if I hear stuff in the background. Now we got UNLV versus Miami of Ohio. UNLV has looked really good. I mean, ever since that shaky game against Idaho State, they've looked good. Wait. Yeah, they've looked good though. I mean, sorry, just distractions. But UNLV, they've looked good. I mean, why are y'all still at the same house? Fine. UNLV though, I mean, gotta keep getting stuck in the same one. Yeah, but they've won a lot of games in a row. I mean, they haven't lost a game since they lost the Boise State in the Mountain West Championship. But they're taking on Miami Ohio, a team who looks really rough to start the season. I mean, not scoring a single point, Wisconsin and crushed by Rutgers. Not a great start to the season for them. They are hosting this game, but I do think UNLV is going to win. 81% go with them as well. So, yeah. Now we have this one is going to be the last version of this rivalry, at least for the time being. As a DFW resident, this is a really cool rivalry. We have SMU versus TCU, the Iron Skillet battle. And this ought to be a great game. I mean, who even knows who's going to win at this point? But SMU, they're coming off a loss, or they're coming off a very shaky game against Missouri State. Yes, I know it's on the road, which was very weird I did that, but still looked very shaky against a team that just joined the FBS. But I mean, they looked shaky against Nevada, to be fair. But yeah, they were taking on a TCU team who beat Abilene Christian yesterday. Yeah, a little suspicious they scored 21. It is Abilene Christian, but still, I mean, they lost a lot of people from last. It's not the same team that nearly beat Texas Tech last year, but I think TCU's still a good team. I think they could definitely be one of those teams that wins the Big 12 this year. But yeah, they beat up North Carolina, so I mean, and they are hosting this game, so that ought to help. But yeah. But who I think is going to win this game? This one's actually tough. This is the last iteration of this rivalry for a while because of course they're in separate conferences. SMU's in the ACC and TCU's in the Big 12. But the battle for DFW, this one's tough. I don't know who's going to win this game. I mean, this one's going to be a great game, if I'm being honest with you. I mean, I'll be honest. I think TCU's looked better, in my opinion. I'll take TCU. Really? 69? Nice. % go with them as well. I'm actually kind of shocked. Remember last year's game? It was like 108 combined points, something like that. But yeah, TCU, I think, is going to win that game. They'll start off 3-0, and if they win, they might be ranked, honestly. Speaking of DFW teams, look what we have here. UNT versus Army. UNT could be the best Group of 5 team. You might think I'm crazy when I say this. Dude, they beat the living daylight out of Washington State yesterday, 59-10. Like, that North Texas team looks really good. I mean, they might be a top 25 team, honestly. I mean, they haven't really played any great teams yet, and they almost lost to Western Michigan, but still. You can definitely make a strong case that they could be ranked. They're taking on Army, who very, very weird start to the season. Losing to FCS Tarleton State, and then they beat Kansas State. So very weird start for them, but I'm going to go UNT to win this game. 36% go with them as well. I mean, yeah, Army can win it, but who knows? But I think North Texas is just such a hot team at this point. It's hard to pick against them. Now we got Bowling Green taking on Louisville. Bowling Green beat Liberty last week. I think that team's actually got something going, man. I mean, they're 2-1. What is that? What is that face, bro?
I'm very, very thankful to have this computer. Because
why are y'all playing my video in the background? Sorry, I'm on a call. Uh, Bowling Green. I mean, they've looked great. They look good. So I think they could be. But they're taking Louisville, it looks like they haven't lost a game since they lost to Stanford. But they've been a really good team. Miller Moss has been inconsistent, but I think they could definitely with the bye week they'll definitely be good in this game. I'll take Louisville. 80% go with them. So, but Bowling Green is known for playing close against their opponents that are Power Four. So yeah, they have Arkansas on the road to Memphis. Arkansas, I mean, they look decent and they've looked good this year. And yeah, they lost close game to Ole Miss yesterday, but at least they looked better than last year. And that, to be fair, it's not as good of an Ole Miss team this year, but still, I mean, Arkansas. I mean, I think they're taking another game in a few weeks. That'd be interesting. But Taylor Green, 10 touchdowns. Good lord. Taylor Green's really good for the team, but they're taking on a Memphis team. I think it is a really really good group of five team. They've been really hot lately. I think that team is bound to be really good. So yeah, but hey, to win this, man, I don't know. I don't trust Arkansas. I mean, yeah, the last time they played at the Liberty Bowl, they won. Of course, it's the Liberty Bowl game, but this one's tough. I think either one of these teams can win. I'm gonna take Memphis. 31% go with them, and nice 69% go with Arkansas. I think Arkansas could definitely win it, but that's tough, though, honestly, because I think Memphis is a really good group of five team. Um, Now we got UAB and Tennessee. UAB, I mean, they beat Akron yesterday in the close game, but that's Akron, bro. They suck. They're taking on Tennessee off a heartbreaker against Georgia. I thought they had that game won, but Tennessee keeps on losing against Georgia in the most outrageous ways. Give me Tennessee. 90% go with them as well. I think they'll recover this week. Now we got Wagner versus Central Michigan. Wagner 0-3 to start the season. They have not won a game in a long time. Taking on Central Michigan team who let Michigan score 63? Bro, how does that even happen? I still think Central Michigan's going to win. 92% go with them as well. Here's an interesting rivalry here. Former Pac-12 rivalry. Oregon State taking on Oregon. Oregon State looked terrible in their game yesterday. I mean, 45-14 to Texas Tech. They have not looked good. They have not looked good to start the season. They keep lost against Cal, Fresno State, and Texas Tech. They're taking on Oregon, who looked great against Northwestern yesterday, and of course they beat the crap out of Oklahoma State. So I'm gonna go Oregon, 87% on those, especially as a home game for them. Yeah. Now we got Purdue versus Notre Dame. Purdue, I mean, yeah, I lost to USC yesterday, but actually wasn't it could be worse, honestly. I think that team still definitely got a long way to go. But yeah, take a Notre Dame team who lost their first two games of the season, two very close games to Miami and Texas A&M. So definitely a lot left to be desired there. But I think they will take their first one again in the season against Purdue. 79% go with them as well. I mean, they beat them 66-7 last year. Yeah, different team, but still. Now we got Kent State versus Florida State. Kent State, I mean, credit to them. They almost beat a good back team at Buffalo. So maybe something going for them, but they're playing Florida State, who is ranked 10th in the country, and they've looked really good to start the season. They have a bye week, too, so I think Florida State's going to win. 91% go with them as well. I got Auburn versus Oklahoma. Two ranked teams actually going at each. Yes, Auburn is ranked, believe it or not. It's been like 20 years since that's happened, but Auburn, I mean, so they played a suspiciously close game against South Alabama yesterday, but I mean, but South Alabama, to be fair, played close against who was it? Tulane. Yeah, it was Tulane. So yeah, maybe we'll see what they do there. And to take it on Oklahoma team, who's looked good to start the season. I mean, they beat up Temple yesterday at Lincoln Financial Field, so good stuff going there. But I do think, who thinks will win this game? I think this could be a close game. Jackson Arnold is his old team. I think OU wins this. 71% go with them, so I think they're the better team at this point. Now we have Tulane versus Ole Miss. Tulane, I mean, they've beat two Power 4 opponents to start the season. That is crazy. Northwestern and Duke, yeah, let them. Yeah, they're not the greatest Power 4 opponents, but still, Tulane, man, they're making a strong case to be a potential playoff team this year. And they're taking on Ole Miss, who they've played close in their games like against Kentucky and Arkansas, but I mean, Ole Miss, they are hosting this game, and this is a really good Tulane team. Yeah, but I do think Ole Miss will win this one. 79% good, that's all. Tulane can for sure win it, though. Trust me. Like, that team's really good. Again, Michigan at an undefeated Nebraska. Michigan is currently 2-1. They actually scored 63 on Central Michigan yesterday. So, I mean, at least their offense actually exists, which kind of surprises me. And they're taking on Nebraska, who I think Nebraska can be a really good game. I mean, they usually give teams really good games because they're like the most unclutched team on earth. But they beat Cincinnati, and they beat up Akron and Houston Christian Baptist, whatever it is. But yeah. But I do think Michigan's going to win this one. 51% going to Nebraska will win it too. Don't get me wrong. If Nebraska wins, that might actually tell them, like, someone that they're a really good team. I think it's going to be a really good game. Two blue bloods facing each other, that's for sure. Now I got Louisiana versus Eastern Michigan. Louisiana got beat up by Missouri yesterday, and Eastern Michigan got beat by Kentucky yesterday. But, I mean, they scored 23. That's usually their sweet spot, though, apparently. But this team lost to Long Island University, so definitely a lot of suspicions there. But hey, what do I know? But I do think Louisiana's going to win. 76% got them as well. Gardner Webb taking on Ohio. Gardner Webb, they're 2-1 and they beat the Citadel, so I mean, there's that. But I mean, they're taking on an Ohio team I think is good. I mean, yes, you got beat up by Ohio State. So it's Ohio State though. I mean, they don't expect them to compete with them. I mean, they should be lucky they only held them to 37. Yeah, I'll take Ohio. 90% go them as well. They're probably either them or Toledo to win the MAC at this point. But yeah. Speaking of Toledo, we get Toledo versus Western Michigan. Toledo, I mean, they look good. I mean, they shut out Morgan State yesterday, and they scored a combined total of 105 points since they lost to Kentucky. So lots of stuff going there. They looked really good since then. They're taking on Western Michigan, who got shut out by Illinois yesterday and choked against North Texas, of course. So yeah, they've had a tough start to the season. Yeah, but I do think Toledo is going to win. 84% good them. So that's the first in-conference game for them this year. So yeah, hold on. Let me go up real quick. Okay, 6:45. Sorry. Oh yeah, Ball State and UConn. Okay. Ball State and UConn. Ball State, they have not looked great. I mean, they barely beat New Hampshire yesterday. That's the FCS team, which they should do better against theoretically. Yeah, they are taking on UConn, who almost beat Syracuse, but then they completely fumbled. And then they completely ruined their momentum and lost to Delaware of all teams. Delaware, this team just joined the FBS, bro. Like, what are you doing, bro? I do think UConn is a better team than Ball State. Give me 91% of them as well. They should be in the, honestly, they should be in the conference more than UMass at this point. They deserve it way more than UMass. Yeah, we got Troy versus Buffalo. Troy, I mean, they have 2 losses. They lost to Memphis by a lot yesterday. So, I mean, that momentum they had for Clemson, they kind of went down a little bit. So, yeah, they're taking on a Buffalo team who almost lost to Kent State. I mean, but I think that team still got potential. I actually think Troy's going to win this one. 20% go to this whole. Buffalo can win it, too. It's just, I think Troy, if they play their best game, they could win it. That's for sure. Now I got North Carolina taking on UCF. North Carolina, I mean, ever since that blowout loss to TCU, they played Charlotte and Richmond. I mean, those aren't great teams, but I mean, they beat them still. They're taking on UCF team who's undefeated, but they've only played Jacksonville State, NCAA, so I mean, there's that. But I do think North Carolina's a better team at this point. Here North Carolina, 44% go with them. I do think UCF can win it too, especially with them hosting it. Yeah. Now I got James Madison versus Liberty. James Madison is coming off a loss against Louisville, but I mean, they have an off week to rest. They're taking on a Liberty team who doesn't look that good, honestly. I mean, lost to Jacksonville State and Bowling Green. So, yeah, I mean, people said this team could be a potential playoff team, but Liberty ain't that good, bro. I'm sorry, but give me James Madison. Oh, my God. It's 50-50. That is crazy. I mean, yes, Liberty can win it, too, though. I think JMU's a better team at this point. Now I got North Carolina State versus Duke. A little rivalry here. NC State, undefeated. I mean, a heck of a comeback against Wake Forest. They have technically one conference win so far because the UVA game didn't count. because for some reason they just really wanted to play each other. My guess is just to fill a void on both their schedules. And they're taking on Duke, who lost to Tulane. They're coming off 2 losses in a row. I mean, Darren Minsaw came and beat his old team, bro. Come on, bro. But who thinks to win this game? I mean, I don't know. I think Duke. I don't know. This is tough. If Duke didn't make so many mistakes at Illinois, they could have won that game. But those are 2 good teams they lost to. But I'm actually gonna go with Duke here. 26% go with them. NC State could win it too. It's just I don't know, man. I think Duke's just played better teams at this point. Now I got NIU taking on Mississippi State. NIU's coming off a bye week after loss against Maryland. So, I mean, not the same. Obviously, a lot of team players, they're obviously rebuilding this year after a wall. A lot of lost players last year. To get to Mississippi State, who's already beat their win total from last year. I mean, look at them. They beat Southern Miss on the road. They beat Arizona State. And they demolished Alcorn State 63-0. So, I mean, Mississippi State might be up to something. Give me Mississippi State to win. 84% got them as well. This is NIU last year. I'd say they probably beat them. Yeah. Now I got Temple versus GT. Temple had a great start, and then they just got blown up by OU, which, I mean, that's kind of expected because you're playing UMass and Howard, but yeah. They're taking on Georgia Tech, who just beat Clemson yesterday. Yeah, that team's really good. They deserve to be ranked, that's for sure. And actually, I'm going to pull up the AP poll when it comes out. It's actually on my computer in front of me, but I think Georgia Tech's win this game 87% of this. I just cannot bet against them at this point. Now I got Idaho taking on San Jose State. Idaho, I mean they're 2-1 and they beat St. Thomas and Utah Tech. So, I mean, a lot of things going there. And they're taking on San Jose State, who hasn't won a game yet this year, but they are coming off an off week. So, yeah, but I do think they'll finally win a game. Let me see how San Jose State. 72% got them as well. Yeah, we'll see, though. Let's see. AP Top 25 poll. Now we move on to the 5 p.m. games. West Virginia versus Kansas. West Virginia, after playing terribly against Ohio, they beat Pitt in overtime. So, I mean, West Virginia finally got some momentum, and they beat their biggest rival. So, I mean, that's at least something to be happy about for them. They're taking on Kansas, who's coming off a bye week after their close loss to Missouri. Yes, it was 11 points, but Missouri scored in that final drive. Well, they probably didn't need to, but yeah. But I mean, both teams, very interesting scenarios. But West Virginia, they definitely looked good. Great in that Pitt game after the disaster that happened the week before. I think Kansas is going to win, though. 63% got them as well. I still think they're a good team. All right, now we got Duquesne taking on Akron. Duquesne, I mean...
Oh, Marshall, I'm not even throwing in his direction. I'm Zach Wilson, and he's Kadarius Stoney.
Oh, wow, what a dynamic duo. Duquesne, I mean, they lost to Lehigh, and they have one win against Lincoln. I don't know who that is, but I think it's Lincoln. I don't know. They're taking on Akron, who has looked awful. I mean, at least they actually played well against UAB, but they're still looking for the first win. I mean, the Akron's in a rough spot, to be fair. I do think Akron finally win a game. 80% got them as well. I think Duquesne can win it too. Don't get me wrong. I mean, Bryant can beat UMass, then Akron can get beaten by Duquesne. Yeah. Now we got Delaware versus FIU. Delaware coming off a win against UConn. What a showing for them. I mean, Delaware, I think, could actually be a decent team in the CUSA this year. Obviously, they're not eligible for the postseason because they're brand new to the FBS this year. So I'm just watching these people play. Yeah. But they're taking on FIU, who I mean, they lost their rival they beat their rivals in FAU, so at least they won in their biggest rivalry of the year. And they're now in CUSA play, so we'll see how they do there. But, I mean, they could be a solid team in the CUSA this year. They definitely look like a better team than last year. Yeah, I do think FIU is going to win. 46% going as well. Delaware could definitely win it as well. I think Delaware actually looks like a solid team, man. I mean, especially first year in the FBS. Credit to them. Now I got Arkansas State versus Kennesaw State. Arkansas State had actually played very well against Iowa State yesterday. So in the circumstances, I mean, they held them to one score, which is very impressive. Very suspicious for Iowa State, but credit to Arkansas State, man. I mean, they're getting beat up by Arkansas. They actually played decently well against Iowa State. So yeah, they're taking on Kennesaw State, who beat Merrimack. They got their first win of the season. So at least Kennesaw State has a win this year. Yeah, but I do think Arkansas State's going to win this game. I think they're a better team at this point. 80% of them as well. Boise State versus Air Force with the 6 p.m. games. Well, I guess for them it's 5 p.m. Boise State, I mean, they have an off week to rest. They look terrible against South Florida, but they look great against East Washington. Yeah, it's East Washington, but still. A.K.A. Cooper Cup University. Boise, they're taking an Air Force team who lost to Utah State yesterday, but I mean, definitely still could be a solid team this year, but I do think Boise State's a better team. 76% got them as well. Not 67 for y'all brain rotters out there. Now I got UT Martin taking on Missouri State. UT Martin has lost a bunch of games, and they got crushed by Southern Illinois yesterday. So they're taking Missouri State, who actually, credit to them, I mean, they scared SMU. Yeah, they let them score 20 unanswered, but still. I'll take Missouri State. 94% got them as well. Especially for a new FBS team, they've actually haven't done too bad so far. I mean, yeah, it's game. I mean, they beat the Sun Belt champs and all that. I mean, yeah, it's their games. So, I mean, it could be worse, I guess. I got Marshall versus Middle Tennessee State. Marshall, I mean, they beat up Eastern Kentucky yesterday, so just getting some momentum to go their way. They're taking on Middle Tennessee State, who actually beat Nevada yesterday in a very close game. So, I mean, Middle Tennessee State finally got some momentum going their way after losing and beat up by Austin Peay. All teams and also led in Wisconsin scored 42 unanswered. I think the team's actually looking better. I'll take Middle Tennessee. 22% go with them as well. Marshall could definitely win it too. I hate picking against myself. Now you got Maine versus Georgia Southern. Maine's lost their first few games of the season. Yeah, two of them are very close games, like the William Mary and Stonehill. They're taking on Georgia Southern, who beat Jacksonville State yesterday. So, I mean, they're finally getting some stuff together after two bad losses against Fresno State and USC. So, yeah, just stay away from California. Give me Georgia Southern. 92% go with them as well. Now we got Nevada versus Western Kentucky. Nevada lost to Middle Tennessee State yesterday, so not a great showing there. And their one win's against Sac State, who they barely beat, the FCS team. Taking on Western Kentucky, who got beat up by Toledo. I mean, they've had an off week to rest, so I think they will win this game. 79% going as well. Plus, I think they're a better team at this point. Got Murray State versus Jacksonville State. Murray State, I mean, I remember they're in the World Series. I think I said that in the last video, but they've lost their first few games. East Tennessee State, Southeast Louisiana, and Georgia State. So, I mean, it kept them within 2 scores, Georgia State, but still. They're taking Jacksonville State, who lost to Georgia Southern, but I think they could this. But they're in a CUSA, bro. I mean, they might win it still. They could lose to a team out of conference team about a lot and still win it. Yeah, I think Jacksonville State will win. 93% go with them as well. I got Coastal Carolina versus Southern Alabama. South Alabama. Coastal Carolina got shut out by Eastern Carolina, so not a great showing there. They're a shutout team or get shut out, so their offense definitely looks very bad. To South Alabama, who actually might be a contender in the Sun Belt this year. They didn't play terribly against Auburn yesterday, who's actually ranked. So yeah, well, should they be ranked? I don't know. Well, should Auburn be ranked? Shall I say? Yeah. But South Alabama, man, they could be solid. Give me South Alabama to win this one. 74% going to result. Coastal Carolina is not a good team. Sorry. This isn't baseball. Now we got Illinois versus Indiana. A big time Big Ten matchup. Illinois looking very good. I mean, they beat up their first 3 opponents: West Illinois, Duke, and Western Michigan. Taking on Indiana, who, I mean, after looking shaky against Old Dominion, who actually beat Virginia Tech, they beat up Kennesaw State and Indiana State. Yeah, they're not really great teams, but still. But I mean, this is a home game for them. Indiana does good in home games. I don't think they've lost a home game in a long time. So yeah. But I do think Illinois is a better team at this point. 49% go with them as well. I think Indiana could win it too. I mean, both teams look great. Both teams look good, so yeah. Now I got Stanford versus Virginia. Stanford actually won a football game. Kind of shocking. They beat Boston College of all teams. Why the heck is bro? Um, they're taking on. So yeah, but they're taking on a Virginia team who beat up William Mary yesterday. So I mean, Virginia actually could be a decent team this year. They're taking on Stanford, but still, I mean, I think Virginia will win this game. 80% got as well. But hey, Stanford disease still exists. So yeah. Now I got Southern Miss versus Louisiana Tech. Southern Miss, I mean, ever since they lost against Mississippi State, they beat Jacksonville State and Appalachian State. So I mean, lots of good stuff going for them. They're taking on Louisiana Tech, who beat up New Mexico State yesterday. Actually, did not play too bad against LSU because they're the number 3 team in the country. Yeah, but let me pull up the AP poll so I can actually get more accurate rankings on these teams. Let's see. Week number 4. Oh wow, we're still number 3 in the nation. Let's go. But I think Louisiana Tech, I think, is going to win this game. 76% of them as well. They could definitely beat contenders USA. I actually heard they're going back to the Sun Belt in a few years. Yeah. Now we got Washington taking on Wazoo. This is on CBS? Interesting. Maybe they worked out a deal or something. Washington, they're 2-0 right now. And they beat Colorado State and they beat up UC Davis. I believe they had an off week last week. So they're taking on Wazoo, who, I mean, their first 2 games they won. I mean, close game against Idaho, and they beat up San Diego State. But they got absolutely obliterated by North Texas yesterday. So, I mean, very, very, very suspicious for them. Not even suspicious. They're just not very good. So, yeah. I know they won this game last year, but Wazoo's in rebuild this year. And I don't trust the same team that got beat up by North Texas to beat Washington, who actually looks decent this year. You Washington, 69% go with them as well. I got Georgia State versus Vanderbilt. I think are they ranked? Number 20 ranked Vanderbilt. Oh my God, Notre Dame is still ranked, and Clemson ain't even ranked, bro. That's crazy. Look at the AP poll right now. Notre Dame's still ranked, even though they haven't won a game yet this year. Are y'all there? No? Okay. But, I mean, Georgia State, I mean, they finally won a game at the game beat up. Well, yeah. In the first few games. They beat Murray State. So, there's that mistake. And they actually beat Vanderbilt last year. They're taking on Vanderbilt, but Vanderbilt, I think, looks like a better team this year. They look scary, bro. And I know Georgia State won last year, but they're on the road. And a lot more. Is that TJ Finley? Mr. Transfer Portal. Oh my God, it is Mr. Transfer Portal himself. From LSU to Auburn to Texas State to Western Kentucky to Tulane and then now to Georgia State. There might be more in there. I don't know. But I think Vanderbilt's going to win. 93% go with them? I'm actually shocked between Georgia State actually beat them last year. But yeah. Now I got Arizona State taking on Baylor. Arizona State, they beat Texas State yesterday. Actually, a much more lopsided game. Texas State's still a solid team. Remember last year that it was a very close game, but Arizona State did not look. I mean, Arizona State definitely got at least some relief after beating Texas State. So there's that. They're taking on a Baylor team who beat Samford yesterday. So I mean, there's that. Yeah, I think they could be contending with the Big 12 this year. And yeah, this would be a great game. Who thinks they win this game? You know what? Sam Leavitt's been super inconsistent. I know Arizona State had the crazy touchdown yesterday. Torton Tyson just bulldozed through some dude. I'm going to take Baylor. 55% got them as well. But I do think Arizona State can win this game. Baylor, I think, just looks like a great team, man. Now I got Bayou versus taking on the road to Eastern Carolina. BYU. I did not know this is actually happening. But BYU, they're currently undefeated so far. They had a bye week to rest as they played Stanford and all that. As they're actually 11 votes away from being ranked. So, yeah. Taking on Eastern Carolina, who shut out Coastal Carolina. They look like a really good group of 5 team this year. So, yeah, but who thinks they'll win this game? I do think BYU is going to win. 74% of them as well. Eastern Carolina can give them a run for their money, though. Just saying. I'm going to go out because my game's up here. Now we got Southeastern Louisiana taking on LSU. So SLU versus LSU. Southeastern Louisiana, ever since they got shut up by La Tech, their offense looked great. I mean, beat Murray State, and then they beat up Mississippi Valley State. So I mean, looking good there. But they are taking on LSU, and LSU, while their offense hasn't looked great, and probably shouldn't bring that up to Brian Kelly. LSU still looks really good. I mean, number 3 in the country, and they just beat Florida, and that defense might be the best defense in college football, which is very weird saying considering how defense has been exactly LSU's strong suit. So yeah, but I think they'll beat up Southeast Louisiana. 93% got them as well. I don't even think Southeast Louisiana's gonna score a point on them. Honestly, we'll see though. Massive respect for Southeast Louisiana. I know people. I kind of know the people. I know people that know people that went there. So yeah. Period. Now we got Sam Houston State taking on Texas. Sam Houston State, rough start to the season. Lost Western Kentucky, UNLV, and Hawaii. And taking on Texas, who did not look great against UTEP. Let's be completely real. Archman did not look very good. But it is Texas still. I think they'll beat Sam Houston. 80% of them as well. I'm actually surprised not as lopsided as I thought, but yeah. Probably all the Archman haters. Yeah, but yeah, to be fair, Archman did not look great yesterday. Now we got McNeese taking on Utah State. McNeese lost a very close game to Weber State after getting beat up by Louisiana. They're taking on Utah State, who beat Air Force yesterday. So, first conference win of the year, and I think they will beat Utah State. 89% got them as well. Now I got Nichols taking on Texas State. Nichols, Matt Mitchell was there at Western Georgia. They lost to Western Georgia. I believe that's what the team is. I believe did they have a bye week? I don't know. I haven't paid attention to FCS. And they're taking on Texas State, who lost to Arizona State. But, to be fair, it could have been worse, I guess. But Texas State, I think, will still be a Sun Belt contender. Give me Texas State. 92% go them. That's all. Dang. I think Nichols could actually compete, though, at least for some of it. But, yeah. I got Louisiana Monroe taking on UTEP. Louisiana Monroe got absolutely obliterated by Alabama, but they've had a bye week since then. But it is Alabama who they actually beat a few years ago, who's probably not very happy, still, especially after Florida State. Taking on UTEP, who actually didn't look terrible against Texas. So, yeah, I'm going to go UTEP to win this one. 80% got them as well. This ULM did not look very good in that game. They didn't even score a single point, bro, against Alabama. Yeah. Now I got UTSA versus Colorado State. UTSA, they beat Incarnate Warriors. So they finally got a win this season. They're taking on Colorado State, who did not, I believe they had an off week. They played a very close game against North Colorado last time they played. Yeah, but give me UTSA. Really? 25%? Yeah, Colorado State can win, especially being away game in the middle of the night, or not quite in the middle of the night. But yeah. But UTSA, I think they're just a better team in my opinion. But yeah. Then I got Wyoming versus Colorado. Wyoming, they're 2-1. They didn't look terrible against Utah in the first half. Yeah, the second half kind of got away from them, but still. They're taking on Colorado, who did not look great against Houston. They lost to Houston. That team is in rebuild. I knew it from the beginning, but I think they'll beat Wyoming. 71% go with them as well. Hold up. Sorry, I'm trying to get the thing to echo. Yeah. Because where Yush is at, it echoes when you clap. California on the road to San Diego State. Okay. Cal's 3-0. That team is actually looking good this year. They beat a Minnesota team. Actually, I thought it was pretty good. So yeah, they're taking on San Diego State. Yes, they had a bye week. They lost to Washington State, and Washington State, to be fair, did not look very good against North Texas, but yeah. But, I think Cal's going to win. 75% go with them as well. a little bit surprised not as upset. But Cal, they could be a solid team this year. I got Michigan State taking on USC, both undefeated so far. And USC's actually number 25 now. They're officially ranked, so that's something to be proud of. But Michigan State, they beat up Youngstown. So yeah, their defense didn't look great, but a win's a win. They're currently undefeated, but I mean that defense can be concerned, especially against USC, who's usually known for having a good offense. And their defense, I mean, look fine. I mean, they haven't really played anyone. I mean, Purdue is better, but I don't think they're that great still. But yeah, I think USC's gonna win. 60% got them as well, especially them being ranked now. They might be legit. And now here's our middle of the night game. Fresno State taking on Hawaii. Fresno State, I think they've played the most games of anyone. I'm surprised they haven't had a bye week yet. They're 3-1 after losing to Kentucky. Kansas. They've been on a tear. I mean, beat up Georgia Southern, beat Oregon State. They beat up Southern. Yeah, they're taking on Hawaii, who's looked good. Who's looked fine. I mean, they should have played better against Portland State, in my opinion, but still. They're 3-1 so far, but I do think Fresno's a better team. 40% got them as well. Hawaii can win it too, especially them being at home. So yeah. Anyways, thank y'all for watching. Please like and subscribe. Have a nice day. Goodbye. See you next one. Peace.